I'm not racist, you know. I'm a businessman.
One of the most successful rappers out of the UK of all time was completely kicked off the internet at the peak of his career. Wiley's been rapping since 1994. Bosie hit 100 million views. He had Idris Elba, Stefflon Don, Sean Paul all in that song. Was able to get himself a Lamborghini out of it, but it wasn't long until he was completely cancelled.
Trust me. That's what happens, bruh. Right, I just want to big up Idris, man. Idris, you're a legend. Stefflon, Sean Paul, legends. Just want to big up you and big up Claudia Valentina, Rhymes. Big up that.
Despite all the success Wiley was getting, he was not too interested in making these hit songs and just keep getting paid. He said he's got one more coming and he's in return to the old school grime. So he wasn't caring about what was going to happen there.
Alright, listen, you know what? I want to big up everyone supporting Bosie, yeah? I made Bosie to feed my son. It was going to feed him a small pie. Idris Elba made it a bigger pie by showing interest, okay? It was sold. Team effort, everyone involved. And then, all the money I gave to my son. I ain't touched a penny of that rhythm, you know? So after that, give the money to my son. Then I was like, right, what about me? I felt empty, you know? So carried on working. You see me on a madness on Instagram. But then, I got one song for me now with Dappy, Claudia, Rhymes, Cranium. So, one song for my son, one song for me, no more. Back to grime. That's all we needed, son. We only needed one for you, mate, one for me, and then I could go back to my grime, mate, and because that's what I really like.
This situation we're going to get to all starts around July 2020. There's a dispute with Wiley and his management. Apparently, Wiley has a falling out with his Jewish manager, A-list management, over business and personal matters. He's been very active on his Twitter account, now called X, over the years. It seems in the same month, Wiley would post a series of tweets and Instagram content containing anti-Semitic remarks, including conspiracies about Jewish people and controlling industries and offensive comparisons, likening Jewish influence to the Ku Klux Klan, and the posts escalate over hours, drawing attention from fans, critics, and he got a lot of backlash.
He posted a series of anti-Semitic comments on social media. He's been heavily criticized for insulting Jewish people and comparing them to the Ku Klux Klan. It's these remarks which have prompted condemnation from all political parties, including the Home Secretary.
I'm not racist, you know. I'm a businessman.
So if you're not racist, then why did you make the following anti-Semitic comment? I'm going to quote the tweet that you put out. You said, Jewish community, you're too touchy. Anyway, Israel is not yours. Hold that.
Do I see why that could be as racism?
Should I read it again?
No, you don't need to read it again. If I read what anti-Semitism is, and it says the Jewish community is powerful within business, that's racist, I think that's silly. I don't care what nobody says. I want to apologize for generalizing, number one, and I want to apologize for comments that were looked at as anti-Semitic. The system and that man and a community of Jewish lawyers and thingy have made me feel that way.
After this interview didn't paint him in the best light, he went back to that same spot and addressed some of his comments he was making. Wiley also says in this rant he did all them tweets and stuff on purpose, knowing the reaction it would get would let him get rid of his manager, which did actually drop him.
If my Twitter account's closed, why can I still see you tweeting to me? Why is everyone still tweeting me as well, by the way? Jess Glynn, you are disgusting, check yourself. Jess, listen mate, I've got no problem with you, and you've probably been bumped as well, so be quiet and mind your own business when I speak. Unless you are Jewish or you have got a problem, then come and sit down in front of me and we could speak, because I don't hate you. Even after you said that, I've got nothing. I don't even know you, do I? My point keeps being proven. Everything I say, my point gets proven. Let me tell you the truth as well. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm not anti-Semitic. I just did this to get rid of John Wolfe because I knew if I do this, his dad won't let him play out with me anymore. I'm a black boy. I'm meant to be helping my own people who need me. How am I a leader for your society? Then it dawned on me. Wiley, before you did that to get rid of John Wolfe, I was in. They basically took me in, didn't they?
If that was Wiley's master plan, it definitely worked, because John had said following Wiley's anti-Semitic tweets today at A-list management, we've cut all ties with him. There's no place in society for anti-Semitism. It seems like Wiley wanted to get rid of his manager for a while. 2 years before this incident, he had tweeted that it feels so good to be manager free, and someone had asked him in the comments, have you got rid of John? He said that yes, he has. Good brother though. They must have fixed their initial issues then, and it come back up years later.
The way the music business is set up, it was never set up so that we could all be the guy. And that's the problem with the music business in England.
Things got worse in the following month. August 2020, Wiley was suspended from YouTube, TikTok and all platforms. In response, he tried to join other right-wing social media platforms to get his point across. Funniest thing is, nowadays, X is a freedom of speech platform where he would have got away with saying all the things he said.
People were brought back. I mean, some people were brought back who were previously banned for spreading things like QAnon conspiracies. You have people like Andrew Tate who were brought back, who were previously banned for things like hate speech. Do you think you prioritise freedom of speech over misinformation and hate speech?
Well, you know, who's to say that something is misinformation? Who is the arbiter of that?
I mean, if you look at Kanye West right now, his rants have been way worse than anything Wiley even said. Twitter decided to lock Wiley's account for violating his hate speech policies after the widespread complaints. He continues posting from other platforms on accounts where possible, doubling down on some of his statements.
Good morning. What's up? It's your boy. Listen, let's talk about this. We all know around July the 17th, I was crucified online. Now, there's a few things that being crucified online can do. It can end you, it can put you in a place that you're not really doing anything. You know what it did to me? It made my algorithm stronger. My algorithm is stronger. Now I'm offline.
When you're completely wiped off social media and every time you make a new account they ban you, you cannot have the same impact or career. And Wiley's music, although he's released some, has not done the same numbers, of course. On the 6th September 2021, one of the most wild stories comes out. Wiley's arrested and charged for assault of burglary. He's alleged to have broken into the flat of an ex-kickboxer and smashed plates and assaulted him, causing injury.
Would you break into a kickboxer's house and kick him?
Over that situation, Wiley failed to appear in court. On the 11th of November 2021, the district judge issued an arrest warrant due to his failing to appear at Crown Court. On 11th of May 2022, the Metropolitan Police issued an official wanted notice on their Twitter page, announced it had been 6 months since Wiley was due in court.
Hold tight, the police. Listen, me to you. Don't come and get me. Don't look for me. I'll go down there. Listen, I'm going to have a drink and then I'll go down there. Don't come looking for me. All right, you haven't got to. All right? Just a nice little message, you know?
It was an ongoing legal situation because of COVID, and in June 2023, Wiley pleaded guilty to assault an emergency worker and criminal damage to property valued under £5,000, both stemming from events tied to the initial incident. He was sentenced to 1 month prison term for each offence, but was suspended for 12 months, meaning he did not go to prison unless he re-offended within that period, and he was also ordered to pay £470 in compensation to the assault victim. Over the last couple of years, Wiley, obviously being banned from social media, has appeared on other people's platforms, podcasts. On one of them, he spoke about why he believes he got cancelled. From stuff like calling out Ed Sheeran and more recently calling out Central C, Wiley's been called bitter and criticised in comments.
Central C.
I knew you was going to say him. About 5 minutes ago.
Why would you not know
you know
what
what it is? I'm going to be a big man. I respect him, but I can't talk on him. Because I don't know.
But he's bossing the States.
No, but when you say bossing the States, you like, what do you mean bossing the States? Do you mean that he's doing what he's being successful there as much as they are there, or what do you mean? Everyone's got a different perception of what bossing is. Yeah. What is bossing the States?
I think he's just as strong. His presence
is as strong
as some of the artists.
What, like Little Uzi and 21
I wouldn't
Savage
say
and Drake?
Uzi because he's a different level.
Okay.
But because remember, he's 2-3 years into the game. He come out of COVID.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't expect him to be on a Drake level immediately.
There was comments saying, I grew up on Wiley, but he's so bitter. Let the kids cook. And someone said, bro's been bitter since 2005. He tried going at 17-year-old Devlin when he was nearing 30 and got destroyed. But in Wiley's most recent interview, he seems in a good place. He's very calm here and talks about how his cancellation actually affects him in positive ways.
Help or hindrance? So I thought you meant me being censored.
No.
Me being censored helped me because it made me actually go and learn more about the field in which I was in.
Okay.
But is censorship wrong or right? Of course it's wrong. But the people censoring you, they own a lot of these platforms. So it's just like you set up a platform tomorrow and then you're the boss of the platform. And then you have pissed me off one day. And then I come on there, you pissed me off. You can shut me off the platform.
Do you think people have a free voice still?
No, there's no such thing as that. There's no such thing as freedom of speech. There's no especially when you're a public figure. When you're a public figure, you're not allowed to speak. If you speak when you're a public figure, if your company is owned by those who you're speaking on, if they're doing the wrong, then they'll just sack you anyway.
I mean, you tried to speak, right?
Yeah, 100%.
And then
chuck me off. But do I understand? Well, obviously, by the time I looked into who owns this, who owns that, who owns this, who owns that, I realised that the business people that I was speaking on, some of them are from that background.
Do you want to talk about what you actually said?
No, I don't need to, because what I'll be doing is dragging it up. But people in the world know my stance.
So
another thing that was in the build-up to Wiley getting cancelled was him clashing with Stormzy, the top guy in the grime scene. You got the Godfather versus the up-and-coming guy, and they had their back and forth. It's ironic in a way they both got cancelled for the opposite things. Wiley got cancelled for speaking out against the Jewish community, whereas Stormzy recently got cancelled for supporting of the Jewish community. He was getting tons of backlash all across social media for deleting a pro-Palestine tweet before promoting his McDonald's advert, which he got multi-millions for.
What the fuck do I look like buying this? I'm never buying this in my life. Nah, mate. Get me 6 cheeseburgers. Get the fact it's even his. What's this? What type of rabbit food are you trying to give me?
And Wiley himself before has spoke about these big superstars being owned by entities and brands. That's record labels and brands like Nike. He spoke about it on a podcast.
And the sad thing, you want me to tell you the saddest thing that I've learned? The saddest thing is, right, when one person like Kyrie Irving or Kanye West or someone has an enlightenment or feels something and says, nah, this doesn't feel right, and tries to talk about it, there's always one of us from our people to stand up. Like Kyrie Irving posted this. Next day or 2 days later, another one of us, LeBron James, they've got to speak against it.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, he's done wrong, he's this, da 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 da. But he's my brother, man, I love him, but blah, 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 blah. Some of us are controlled by some of the powers, right? Whether it's Nike, no one wants to lose their shoe deal.
Yeah.
Some of us are controlled whether you work for the NBA or you work for the NFL, if you're this big basketball player or a big American football player, you don't want to lose that, everyone loving you, right? But that's what makes me even sadder. I've got friends, and then if I do that on Twitter, and then I get taken down, someone who is my friend, but just might think, see, he's got a big mouth, good anyway. I'm glad they shut him down. And that's my own people. Maybe because they haven't been through what I've been through, they'll just think, good. Didn't even like Wiley anyway. That's the sad bit, because a lot of different demographics stick together.
Wiley wasn't really cancelled. Wiley was censored because he was removed so you could not hear his voice on certain platforms, even though people would still repost it. Wiley is back on TikTok, and even Stormzy had to repost this freestyle just recently.
MC producer, can't move around with the fake ones. Them man are losers. Raise that by a couple kilo movers. Learnt real quick, beggars can't be choosers. Might catch a one vibe in the nighttime. Can't catch me in my tracks because I fly by. Might order a Mahit or a Mai Tai. Say they got skills like us, brother. Why lie? Got it. So I'm gonna embrace it. Truth in your face, but you don't wanna face it. If a man done more work than talk, then gone. Jokers, I'm with the aces. This job takes us so many places. One more thing, not everybody makes it. They ain't gonna like that one. iPhone 15, what color black one? Matte one, charisma, I don't like nothing. Pagans think they're rough until I catch one. Everyone's looking a milli, but I'm a stack one. Girl looking baby father, she would trap one. Man love trying back, but they ain't got none. They lie, they can't back one. No work rate career, you won't have one. Too much chatting on it, you're not the bad one. Too much chatting on it, you're not the bad guy. Them man of rice noodles like pad thai. Mad guy, sad guy.
Stefflon Don, who had the song with Wiley's brother, was a more extreme case of cancellation, Dutch Chiavelli, and we made a video about that just recently, and I'll leave a link at the end of this so you guys can go and watch that next.